Time to take down the bunting. Certainly no reason for a big celebration in Downing Street today. Much more a signal it's time to get back to business.
We are helping people.
So the cameras are allowed in for the start of Cabinet to show a government keen to get on with governing. But there was this reference to how ministers were sent out yesterday to rally support.
Thank you, by the way, everybody, for all your good work yesterday, because which was a very important day, because we're able now to draw a line under the issues that our opponents want to talk about, and we're able to get on with talking about what I think the people of this country want us to talk about, which is what we are doing to help them.
Draw a line. Even the Prime Minister's supporters admit privately last night's vote was worse than they'd feared.
The vote in favour of having confidence in Boris Johnson as leader was 211 votes, and the vote against was 148 votes. And therefore, I can announce that the Parliamentary Party does have confidence.
The cheering from the Prime Minister's supporters quickly covering the sounds of surprise. Maybe Westminster should not have been surprised by the numbers: 148 rebels, 211 loyal. But what do those opposed to Boris Johnson do now? This former cabinet minister's accused Boris Johnson of unacceptable failures of leadership, but today she seemed eager not to cause any trouble.
The party gave its views yesterday, and today is another day we move on, and I know the Prime Minister will want to focus on absolutely the priorities of this country.
So he's the right man to lead the party into the next election?
That's it, thanks.
But others are still suggesting Boris Johnson should consider resigning.
We know when Theresa May had a greater percentage number of MPs supporting her in 2018 when she faced a confidence vote, people were immediately saying it wasn't good enough. Well, last night 41% of Conservative MPs felt that they couldn't support the Prime Minister, and that is a very high number, 148. It's far higher than many people were expecting.
What would cause trouble is if anyone round this crowded table were to resign, but at the moment there's no sign of that.
My message is we had a vote yesterday. There was a clear result in that vote. Now is the time to get behind the Prime Minister to deliver on what people in Britain want to see.
This all still overshadows life at Westminster, but a replacement service that has still not arrived.
Well, let's pick up with Andy live, who is outside Westminster for us. And it was a hectic night yesterday, wasn't it? Do you think the Prime Minister's out of the woods today?
Well, Dan, how many times have we said this now? He has survived for now, but he is clearly wounded. Make no mistake, that vote against him last night was definitely bigger than what his allies were expecting. And if you take out the number of Conservative MPs who actually have jobs in his government and just leave the so-called backbench Conservative MPs, almost certainly a majority of them actually voted against their leader. And another thing for Boris Johnson to worry about is that the opposition was coming from all over the party, from different places. And it does seem to be not about ideology or a particular policy in this case. It does seem to be much more about the personality, the individual, Boris Johnson. Questions about his integrity, about the way he runs his government. And if the problem for so many of his opponents is basically Boris Johnson, it becomes very difficult for Boris Johnson to fix that problem. Now, under the rules, they're not supposed to have another leadership contest of this type for another 12 months, but everyone is saying the rules can be changed, and make no mistake, there are still quite a lot of people out there in this place who have an appetite to have another go.